Peace, peace, family, peace. I hope all is well. Yahuda, I am sorry for being tardy. Again, Yahuda, I am sorry for being tardy. I apologize. Hold on, let's put Yahuda up here. Let's go with the mean red face. Again, let's go. Hurry up with the mean red face. But listen, guys, I hope all is well. Hope you're enjoying your Friday wherever you're at. It is a beautiful Friday here in Atlanta. You know, I got my How About Them Dogs national champs, baby. Won a national championship. Where's Fitzgerald? Is Fitzgerald in the chat room? Is Fitzgerald in the chat room? I've been too easy on Fitzgerald. As you guys know, my Georgia Bulldogs beat Fitzgerald's um, Alabama Crimson Tide in a national championship. And I've been too easy on Fitzgerald. So I'm about to apply that pressure back on Fitzgerald. Let's see your speaker. Let's do it. No. Turn this back on. Turn the speaker back on. But yeah, I'm going to apply that pressure to Fitzgerald Stevens, that Crimson Tide fan. Fitzgerald is going to get it. I've been too easy on him. Been way too easy on Fitzgerald. I'm in Baltimore now for now. Hold on. Who's this? Sorry, guys. Just got it. Guys, I apologize. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Sorry for the interruption. I just got to send this message off. Guys, as you know, in fact, let me go ahead and go to the site. I'm getting some updates done to the tour site. So my web guy just messaged me saying he's having an issue. So let me just get this message off real quick. I'm in Baltimore for now. I'm going back to Ethiopia. Kevin, enjoy your time in Ethiopia. In fact, who's that with you, Kevin? Is that a nice Ethiopian queen in that picture with you, Kevin? Is that an Ethiopian queen with you? Is that what I see? Is that what I see? But guys, so make sure you go to donfo.africa, please. Please visit donfo.africa. That is the new travel site, okay? Donfo. Your wife. Okay. Oh, sorry. My bad. My bad, Kevin. My bad. Your wife. I apologize, Kevin. I don't want no smoke, Kevin. I don't want any smoke at all. I apologize. But guys, make sure you go visit donfo.africa. I did. Yeah, I was eating jollof pig ear sandwich. You're right, Brandon. I was eating a jollof pig ear sandwich, and it was delicious. In fact, it was a jollof chitlin sandwich I was eating. I was eating a jollof chitlin sandwich. Brandon, it was delicious. So, guys, make sure you go to donfo.africa, the new tour travel site. Make sure you guys go visit, see everything we're doing, check out the itineraries, the destinations we're traveling to in Africa. Guys, the goal is, and I've told this story before. So when I was in Tanzania back in 2011, Indians controlled the tourism industry in Tanzania. It was dominated and controlled by Indians. In fact, I'll go ahead and say this. Africans do not control their own tourism industry. It's not controlled by Africans. It is not controlled by Africans at all. Africans do not control the tourism industry. Now, in Tanzania, it was dominated by Indians. Kenya, white Indians. South Africa, white people. Namibia, white people. Hell, West Africa, Lebanese. And you got your mom and pop, black operators here and there. But tourism is not controlled by black people. It's not controlled by Africans in Africa. And I just remember it was called Leopard Tours in Tanzania. Again, it was called Leopard Tours. That was the name of the tour company in Tanzania. And I remember, man, they had, and this was back in 2011, they had trucks running everywhere. They had safari mobiles running everywhere, up and down. When I was in Arusha, headed to Kilimanjaro, headed to Ngorongoro Crater, headed to Serengeti, up and down, just leopard tours, leopard tours, leopard tours, leopard tours, leopard tours, leopard tours, leopard tours. I'm talking about they dominated tourism in Africa. I mean, they dominated tourism. And so what really, I guess what really caused me to get into tours, after I became Oma Oba in Nigeria, in Oruwo, one of my responsibilities was bringing awareness to the kingdom. So once I was given that role and that title, I said, you know what, let me start bringing people to Africa. Let me start doing tours. So the first tour I ever did was Nigeria 2019. We did the Oshun Festival. Nigeria 2019, of August of 2019, we did the Oshun Festival. And that went well. So we did that. Then in November of 2019, the Festival of My Kingdom, we did that as well. I did that tour as well. Had tours lined up for 2021, but COVID hit. So no tours in 2021. In fact, we're going to do the Oshun Festival in 2021. No, actually, let me back up. 2021, March of 2021, we were going to have celebrate the 1 year anniversary of my coronation in Nigeria. So we're going to do that. And then August, plan on going to the Oshun Festival. And the grand finale, actually, 2021, December. In fact, let me back up for a second. I'm sorry. Guys, let me back up. 2020. So 2019, first tour was was Oshun Festival, Nigeria, in August. Then in November of 2019 was the festival at My Kingdom. Then in 2020, we were going to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of my coronation in March of 2020. Then, of course, in August, we had the Oshun Festival lined up. And then the grand finale of 2020, December, me and Blacksit, we were going to collaborate, and we were doing Sierra Leone in 2020, in December 2020. But COVID hit. So COVID hit, I took a hit when it came to travel. I want to say winter, maybe October, November of 2020. I said, you know what? We're going to do a tour. I'm going to do a tour to Sierra Leone. April 2021, we're going to do a tour to Sierra Leone, celebrating the 60th year anniversary of Sierra Leonean independence. It ended up turning into a citizenship tour because they announced that they were going to have the citizenship ceremony that same week of the independence celebration. So I took like almost 20 people with me. Then August, did the Oshun Festival 2021. In November, we were just in Sierra Leone for another citizenship ceremony. So now, I said, you know what, let me get more organized. I'll listen to the feedback from customers and patrons. So we're going to expand. And let me get back to what I was trying to get at. Africans do not control the tourism industry in Africa. So I'm going to expand aggressively all over Africa as far as tourism goes. So right now, Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, Liberia's coming, South Africa, Namibia's coming, Benin Republic, and I'm missing out somebody. I'm missing some. Oh, and Zanzibar. So that's where we're at now. Guys, tourism is $1 billion industry. Tourism is $1 billion industry, you guys. $1 billion. Let me repeat. Tourism is $1 billion industry. $1 billion. More than $1 billion. It is $1 billion. In fact, let's look that up. Tourism in Africa. Hold on, let's look this up. Tourism in Africa industry. How much? Guys, tourism in Africa contributed to $169 billion to the economy. Tourism is 7% of Africa's GDP in 2019. That was 2019. $169 billion. And guys, we control a fraction of that. I mean, we control a fraction of that, you guys. A fraction of that. That's what we control. $169 billion industry in 2019. $169 billion. Guys. Oh, so DL already in Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone, if you could trace your ancestry back to Sierra Leone via African ancestry, you're eligible for citizenship. I'm taking a group in April. So looking forward to that. But guys, it is $169 billion industry in Africa. And we control a fraction of that, a small fraction of that. Yeah, so guys, I'm taking this tourism opportunity serious. Yes, I'm Nigerian and I'm Sierra Leonean. So Sierra Leone is my country. Sierra Leone is beautiful. In fact, this picture right here, that's the Sierra Leone River number 2. Oh, God, Sierra Leone is gorgeous. Oh, God, Jesus. Sierra Leone is gorgeous. My favorite countries, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria. Those are my favorite countries. Senegal, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria. Those are my favorite countries, everyone. But yeah, that's what's going on, family. $169 billion industry. Esther, I'm doing fine, Esther. Thank you. So yeah, that's where we're at as far as tourism. But let's go through the site. So, well, we won't go through the whole site right now, but guys, Donfo.Africa. If you're interested in going to Sierra Leone with us, let me know right here. Or Nigeria, let me know. So me personally, I will be doing 4 tours a year, 3 to 4 tours a year. But at the same time, I'll be curating tours and I can put together and organize bespoke tours for you as well. So these are all the destinations for now, right here. Forgot Ghana. So as of right now, Sierra Leone, Benin, Ghana, South Africa coming soon, Nigeria, Namibia coming soon, Senegal, Zanzibar. This is where these are the destinations where we're going right now. But pretty soon, I mean, we're going to be touching every country. Morocco, Egypt as well. Hell, Algeria, South Sudan, all of them. They're coming down the pipeline. And guys, this is the team, and the team is growing. This is the team, and the team is growing, everyone. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, family. People people are sleeping on. People are definitely sleeping on tourism when it comes to Africa. $169 billion industry. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that, everyone. Nigeria, my Nigerian brothers and sisters. Oh, Sudan too. We'll come to Sudan. We're going everywhere. We're going everywhere. Guys, we're going everywhere. We are going to touch all of Africa. Let me pull up this article real quick. I know some of my Nigerian family, you guys were upset at me when when we were discussing how there are Nigerians who want to enroll and go fight for the Ukraine, fight on the side of the Ukrainians in the war against Russia. What does Donfo mean? Donfo is the local transportation. It's a yellow bus of Nigeria. And again, that's the local bus for that night. That here it goes right here. That's the Donfo right there. The Donfo bus. That's the local bus, local transportation of Nigeria. The yellow buses. I've caught them. I have caught them in the past, but let's get back to our Nigerian brothers and sisters who are interested in fighting on the side of Ukraine. Here we go in this war. Let's jump into that real quick. Let's jump into that. Okay, are there Chinese who want to fight for the Ukrainians, Ben? I mean, are there Chinese who want to fight on the side of Ukraine? You tell me. Tell me something I don't know. All right, guys. So Nigerian fighters must provide $1,000 for ticket, visa, Ukraine. See, this is what these Nigerian fighters are trying to do. They were hoping that they could fight on the side of the Ukraine, get free visas, possibly get citizenship, get a free trip to Ukraine. But Ukraine is like, nah. The Ukraine embassy is like, nah, that's not gonna happen. The Embassy of Ukraine in Nigeria says Nigerians who are willing to travel to Ukraine to fight Russian forces must be willing to provide $1,000 for ticket and visa. The embassy stated this when scores of Nigerian men converged on its premises in Abuja on Thursday to express their readiness to join the Ukrainian side. In an interview with our correspondent, the second secretary at the Ukrainian embassy to Nigeria, Bohdan Sotsi, confirmed that $1,000 would be needed by Nigerian volunteers. The announcement did not go down well with the Nigerians who lamented that the price was too high. The $1,000 requirement is too high, said Monday Adikwu with number 96A412808, who was dismissed from the Nigerian army for leaving his duty post to visit his pregnant wife without permission. So, but this is okay. So you have a lot of, and this is going on, and I think there's some fighters from America, fighters from Britain. There's some fighters from just about a little bit of everywhere who are going to fight for Ukraine, and they are paying their way. But for some reason, Nigerians are expecting that they will get a free trip to Nigeria and a visa. They'll get everything for free if they were to fight for the Ukraine. Meanwhile, everyone else who wants to fight for Ukraine, they're paying their way. But for some reason, Nigerians thought they won't have to pay their way. They said we should provide evidence of military experience, passports, and $1,000 for tickets and others. When I asked what the salary is, the guy said $7,000 and later changed it to $3,300 per month. I showed him my military and training certificates. When asked why he wants to go to Ukraine, Adikwu said he needed money to take care of his family, including 6 children. Jesus. Oh my gosh. Jesus. Guys, it's getting, see, and again, we had this conversation before. There was a Nigerian, I guess, was defending Nigerians going to Ukraine, and he said Black Americans wouldn't understand because Black Americans aren't ambitious. And I said, listen, we cannot confuse ambition with being desperate. Wanting to go suit up and fight in a war for another country, especially a European country, is desperate. That's not ambition. Going to the Ukraine for education to Eastern Europe is being desperate. That's not ambition. We cannot confuse ambitions with being desperate. All right, let's continue. He said, I want to go to Ukraine because I'm a military man. I fought in Liberia. I fought in Sierra Leone. Okay, he probably fought during the Civil War. Was it ECOMOG? What is it? The Nigerian forces. Was it ECOMOG? I think it was the peace forces. I'm a military man. I fought in Liberia. I fought in Sierra Leone. I was part of the 33 Battalion. I was trained by Ukrainian soldiers when I was in the United Nations in Kosovo on how to shoot and drive APC tanks. I can drive it very well. So when I heard about Ukraine and the way people are trooping in, I am a farmer. I don't have anything. I am a fighter. They said they will pay us, so I'm ready to fight so that I can get paid and take care of my family. I will also bring glory to the name of Nigeria as a worthy ambassador. Adiku, who was accompanied by other dismissed soldiers, said they were not afraid of Russian forces. We're not scared. It was David that killed Goliath with only a tool. So I believe my going to Ukraine will give them victory. Oh my goodness. Why can't we use that same energy against Boko Haram? Why can we not use that same zeal? David versus Goliath against Boko Haram. Why? Another applicant, Ikem Nduche, who is from Anambra State, my Igbo brother, said he was fluent in Russian, having attended a Russian military academy in 2007, said he was willing to fight on the side of Ukraine. And Nduche added that his wife was against him traveling to fight for Ukraine, but he would travel nonetheless for the sake of honor. I am 101% to fight for Ukraine. It is wrong for someone to invade another person's land. That is what Putin is doing, and we want to defend Ukraine. Hey. I was in the military academy in Russia. I have what it takes. I even served the Nigerian army briefly too, he said. An interview with Punch, the second secretary at the Ukrainian embassy to Nigeria, Bohdan Soltis, said it would be difficult for Nigerians to travel to Ukraine now since the airspace had been shut due to the war. He said since Nigerians needed visas to visit Romania and Poland, it would be difficult for them to use the land borders. Right. So a couple of the I guess mercenaries who are going to fight for Ukraine, they're flying to Poland and then they're going into Ukraine by road. It would be difficult for them to use the land borders. It is normal practice when people want to volunteer and join the army of another country. It is a normal international practice, of course, for us. It is an expression of support, which we really appreciate. Hold on. For now, no one has gone. We have received hundreds of applications from people who said they are willing. We have sent lists to the government, but I cannot tell you what will happen next. In this particular case, you cannot fly to Ukraine. The only way you can fly is to countries that border Ukraine. All these countries are part of the EU, and Nigerians will need visas to visit these countries. So it is a big obstacle. You cannot fly directly to Ukraine. You'll have to go to Poland or Hungary, Solti said. The diplomat said Ukraine was not recruiting mercenaries but volunteers. Right. He therefore advised Nigerians not to focus on the money. Go fight for free, Nigerians. He, however, promised that Nigerian volunteers would be paid the same as Ukrainian soldiers. If a person wants to fight for Ukraine or any other country, only volunteers can do it. If Ukraine pays these people, they will be mercenaries and it violates international law. In general, when a person joins another country's army, they pay the normal price that their soldiers are paid. This is how it works across the world. You come to fight because an injustice has been done, he said. Why $1,000 was being demanded from Nigerian volunteers, the Ukrainian diplomat said, yes, $1,000. That is what I paid the last time I visited Ukraine. While thanking Nigeria for siding with Ukraine at the United Nations General Assembly, he pleaded with Nigerian citizens who have been victims of racism during the evacuation of Ukraine not to feel offended, added that war situations sometimes force people to act out of character. However, okay, dude, once again, Ukraine is going to put Ukrainians first. Like, why are we still having this conversation? Ukraine is going to put Ukrainians first. He, however, advised Nigerians also not to fall for Russian propaganda. No, that is not propaganda. It definitely is not propaganda. So listen, if you want to go fight, for Ukraine, hey, you can fly to Poland, to Warsaw, you can fly to Romania, and just go by border and let them things pop. against the communists. You could be like Rambo. You could be like Rambo, First Blood. One of the Rambo movies when he went. One of the Rambo movies when he went to Ukraine. I mean, he fought against the communists. I forgot where. Hold on. There's no place left on earth to be a coon without black folks seeing you. Pissing on our leg and calling it rain. Hey, listen, man. They want to go fight for Ukraine. Let them go fight for Ukraine, man. Let them go and fight for on the side of the Ukrainian army. Yeah, you're right, Brandon. Russia has Chechen mercenaries hunting the Ukrainian president right now. And from my understanding, these mercenaries are like some of the baddest mercenaries on the planet. They'll be cannon fodder. They're going to give them little rusty 22s. The Nigerians that decide they want to fight on the side of Ukraine, they're going to give them little rusty 22s, and they will be cannon fodder. Nah, that's what we could do. We could film Niger Rambo in Ukraine. Down. We could film Niger Rambo. It could be a Nollywood movie. We could take Nollywood to Ukraine. We could take Nollywood to Ukraine. The Nigerians who want to fight for Ukraine, Niger Rambo, fight against the communists. You can fight against the communists. Niger Rambo. All right, Brad, I'm about to put a link in here. Hold on. Guys, please hit that like button. Hit the like button. And also, please visit Downfall.Africa. Again, please visit Downfall.Africa as well. But like I said, it could be Niger Rambo. Brad, my Indian Choctaw.
Niger Rambo.
You gotta turn off the playback.
Can you hear me okay?
Here you go. Go ahead.
All right. So, bro, I'm ashamed of you right now. If there's one thing you know about Nigerians, Nigerians got a plan, dog. Nigerians is scamming in every country on earth. Nigerians all up in UAE, places where you just don't even think black people could get access to, and they making money. Look at Hush Puppy, you know. The Nigerians are actually very smart for what they're doing, because what these Nigerians understand is that, okay, one, you're going to get paid $7,000 a month. You go in, as soon as they start shooting, Nigerians going to do what they do best, start running and surrendering. You get captured, you still getting that $7,000 a month, and you get a bonus. You get a bonus for being a prisoner of war. On top of that, once Russia decides to get out of Ukraine, they're going to be forced to pay a lot of reparations, not only to this country, but also to the individual soldiers and stuff that they might have captured, all this stuff. This world is increasingly moving towards this like super hyper monetized situation. So these Nigerians understand, we go there, we don't even have to fight. All we got to do is show up, get listed as official, participants in the war, white flag surrender, get taken by the Russians. We getting free food. 3 hots in a cot. You feel me? While we just wait for the situation to settle. I don't really understand what's wrong with that. Like, other groups have done that for decades. And then black people keep saying, "Oh, you gotta survive. You gotta survive." Bro, there are literally unarmed Ukrainian people standing in front of tanks talking shit to the Russians. So the Russians, unless you believe Western media, They are not just indiscriminately destroying, killing civilians. They're not doing that because they know that that would be war crimes and that would be an issue. Those Nigerians are smart. When you see a battalion of Nigerians or you see some Nigerians under the command of some Ukrainian official, bro, they can easily sneak away because the Ukrainian army is in a state of disarray. It's not really organized, it's already broken down. They're already fighting guerrilla warfare at this point within the streets of these major cities. So it takes you nothing to fake an injury or hop over to the other side. Hey, no, no, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. I surrender. These Nigerians are smart, man, and they trying to get to that back. This is one thing I'll say where it does bring shame to Nigeria. This shows you one thing. If African soldiers were incentivized with something like fair pay, they would have the zeal to go fight Boko Haram, Al Shabaab and stuff like that. But the reality is, every army in the history of mankind has been paid a fair wage, Dinus, for fighting. Africa thinks that you're going to get a good army on a freaking pittance, on a pauper salary, and you're not. No one's going to go risk their life for a tiny amount of money where you can't even feed your family. So it's not a fact that the Nigerians are cowards. It's not a fact that Africans don't like to fight. They just not getting paid enough to incentivize risking their life. Now you give them $7,000 a month, they'll go risk it all. We can't hear you. Go ahead, Diane, you muted.
Yeah, they'll go risk everything.
So I blame the Nigerian government. Nigerians aren't cowardly people. They go all over the world, even into the worst situations, just to go run scams and shit. So they brave, but it shows you the African governments would rather steal than have strong armies, rather steal than end terrorism, right? They would rather steal than to develop efficient armies that can combat and protect them from outside influence because they think, oh, if it does get too crazy, white folks is going to come and defend us. But I don't know if you guys looking at Ukraine, you guys can sit up and romanticize, oh, look at white folks defending white folks. Dude, last I heard, them Ukrainians is over there getting slaughtered, and other white countries ain't sent them nothing in the realm of reassurance as far as soldiers and stuff like that. They're cheering. They're doing a great job cheering them on, but in reality, they're not helping them. So the white country ain't even helping the white country. What do you think they're gonna do to the black country? I'm gonna do a video later on this week, talking about weakness is no longer acceptable for African militaries. Where we gotta start putting ourselves in position to be able to, at the very least, defend. Because if Ukraine taught us one thing, if Russia went into that European country like that, and they pretty much just rolled them over, and they had tanks and planes and everything, what do you think they'll do to Ghana? What do you think they'll do to Nigeria? What do you think they'll do to Sierra Leone or Senegal? Bro, they wouldn't even probably lose a single soldier. And that is not okay because, as you know, this is the response. In the world now, they will let your ass get invaded.
Hey,
Let these
listen,
people,
real quick, Brandon. I was gonna talk about that too. Why are our military so weak in Africa?
because they don't want to pay. The dynasty, it's all about money. They don't want to pay. The soldiers don't run because they're cowards. They run because they're not making it worth risking their lives. They got these armies, but they don't pay. You don't see African armies doing parades and stuff, showing off their military equipment and stuff because they don't got nothing. And they're not even paying the soldiers to just say, look, bro, here, your family's good. If you die, we're going to give them something. Every army in the civilized world, Dinus, if a man gets killed, the government pretty much promises to take care of his family. African countries don't promise that. So why would the man risk his life? I don't blame him for that. But I'm going to say objectively, the armies are weak, but I understand why they're weak, and I don't blame the soldiers for their position. Give a man the tools to do the job right.
Guys, hit that like button. If you're gonna call in and add to the conversation, please hit that. Please click on the link, and you are more than welcome to call in enjoying
Dude,
the convo.
I was in Africa one time. I swear I saw a soldier with a slingshot, dude. I said, they can't give you a gun with some bullets. He had a slingshot and 3 marbles. No African army is top notch, and that's embarrassing, but it's good that we have some people with the fighting spirit. And then even when you talk about the dude leaving to go see his pregnant wife and he got dismissed and stuff, bro, listen, when you getting paid peanuts, sitting up and being on time and shit, it's very low on the priority level. Dinus, you gonna show up on time to a job that's paying you $4 an hour? You're not even gonna show up. Like, I'd go beg for change and get that. So I don't like where we expect Africans to just accept bullshit in some sense of like false moral like honor, right? Those dudes said they're going over there for honor. A soldier wants glory. Soldiers love life like everybody else, but most soldiers, if they're gonna die, they prefer to die on the battlefield, fighting the enemy. So I understand where these dudes are coming from. I understand. And let me tell you something else about them paying $1,000,
Whoa,
dog.
whoa, whoa, hold on. Somebody said, so I was thinking Egypt army is pretty strong. Somebody says Egypt army is not strong. I don't believe that.
Egypt army is strong because they get like almost $3 billion a year from the United States. Egypt army got strengthened when they made peace with Israel. The United States started giving them money for militaristic military spending. That's why you haven't heard nothing about those other countries, Lebanon and stuff, really trying to go after Israel in a while, because Israel and Egypt now have like a agreement, So if those countries do attack Israel, Egypt will go in on them. Egypt has the strongest military in Africa. But black people don't know
Guys,
anything about
links
military.
in these. Somebody said Egypt gets their ass whipped by Israel.
No, they're teamed up with Israel now. You can look that up. All of them got their ass whooped by Israel. Remember the 13-day, 5-day war or something like that? It was like a war that just was a couple days where Israel whooped everybody's ass. But that's because they have training and weapons from the United States. Come on. If they fought head up with whatever they got, Israel will get destroyed. 5 countries against 1 country, you have some American intervention. I cannot support corruption. You supporting corruption every day, whether you want to or not. We got Amazon. We ordering shit off Amazon talking about I will not support corruption. Maybe
Oh,
one
that's
of the most.
crazy.
Yeah, come on. We got to get off this moral high horse, bro.
Hold on, Jumbo, Koyate, call in. I mean, I've never been in the army, and I don't plan on it. I think it's even fighting for the U.S. I think it's crazy.
So
But
no, listen.
call in.
Jomo doesn't know what he's talking about. Soldiers in the United States don't make a lot of money, but they make enough money to survive.
I know the soldiers I know be balling. They got houses, fly ass cars. Like all the
Yes,
soldiers I
because
know be balling.
because they give you all types of incentives. They're going to help you buy a house. If you die, your family's pretty much taken care of for the rest of your life. They got if you get killed in battle, your family becomes a gold star family. You getting a payout from the government, like $500,000. Like, come on, there's incentives, bro. That's the whole point. The army ain't about paying you a huge salary, which if you get in the right field of work, you will get a big salary, because everybody I know who's a soldier who's been in there for career, they're making money. None of them are broke. And okay, I'll give you a prime example. My sister is with some guy. They're married. So they live in Hawaii, bro, in a big ass house, like 4 bedrooms. The military pays for that. Come on, bro. My sister just chilling on the beach every day while this guy goes to the base and then just comes home like a regular job. And they have money. My sister bought a brand new car, all that in Hawaii, and she don't work. So people always talk about they don't make money. Compared to who, bro? Compared to who? Because I've never seen a guy who's a soldier begging for money or, bro, let me borrow from you and all that stuff. They get to eat for free every day if they want to. Just go to the base. You get 3 free meals a day.
And the food's pretty good. Josie, go ahead.
You know?
Josie, you gotta unmute
Now, why
yourself.
Josie never show his face?
Can
I
you
think
hear
he's
me?
a white man.
Go ahead.
I'm not white.
Sure you are.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Look, whatever, Brandon. Look, personally, I think for me, all of the African countries, many of the citizens should have known that this country would obviously protect its own citizens first, put themselves first before anybody. I mean, even in my own country, even though there are only 5 South Africans in Ukraine, I mean, you can't blame the Ukrainians for looking out for themselves. So, for me personally, I don't even know why they even went to the Ukraine. And in terms of military, I agree with Brandon. Many African nations don't invest as much as they should on the military, which is a very important part. So, yeah, I mean, you can't blame people for doing that. And with the Nigerians going there, hey, man, if you want to make some good money, go to Ukraine. I mean, like, if things are that bad in their country and they could get some money, hey, I can't blame them for that.
Hey,
Yeah, that's all I have to
get
add.
her back,
Thank you.
man, because
Wait, hold on.
you said that's all you had to add.
What are you talking about? The video that you had earlier. No, 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 no,
Me?
no, no, no. I have a slight delay. Hold on. Okay. The video that Diners posted earlier. No, Diners, not you. Yeah, that video that he posted about the South. He's speaking for the whole continent, not
Who? What
specifically
video? Which one?
South Africa, because there are only 5 South Africans there. So yeah, but I still agree with the one that you posted just like an hour earlier. Like it was a 30 minutes or an hour earlier. The one about the South African ambassador to the US.
He did what? I didn't hear you. He did what?
He said the one that you posted about the South African ambassador
Right,
to
right,
the
right.
US.
To the UN. Yeah. What about it? What about the video?
No, I was
He got
just
a
saying
delay.
that she wasn't speaking about South Africa. I mean, the only 5 South Africans there.
No,
So
he's just doing the classic
there's
thing that
only
South
like 5
Africans
South
do, where they
Africans
try to
there.
differentiate themselves from other Africans.
No, that's not what I'm doing. But it's the truth. She was
Yeah,
speaking
that's
for the whole
exactly what you're
continent.
doing.
It's the truth.
You're
She was
like, there's
speaking for
only
the whole
5 South
continent,
Africans
not
there.
South Africans.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're trying to
No, there
differentiate
were.
South Africans from
There
the
was
rest
just
of
5 South
Africans.
Africans there.
And Brandon's right. You probably are some
No,
white
I'm
South
not.
African
I'm
anyway.
telling the
I
truth.
bet you lighted in a brown paper bag.
No, I'm
Anyway,
not.
bro, are
And
you
this
just
is
gonna talk about how it's not South
for my
Africans, or are you actually gonna talk
He
about?
is
accent.
color. He is color, Diners.
Oh man, guys, leave our South African brother alone. All right, love my people. Go ahead, love my people. Go ahead.
Yeah. I agree with what Brandon's saying there. I mean, I'm pretty sure those Nigerians have a plan.
Thanks.
But other than that, I totally agree with the idea of, Africans just need to bolster their armies. We can't be staying weak. I mean, like, it's basically going to be colonization 2.0 if at the current state, if we were attacked by like a power like Russia or the US or something.
Bro, these guys will literally you people like we've been around white folks for so long, but we don't understand. We still act dumb when it comes to how they think. And I got a video coming this afternoon talking about our Africans, uh our Africans betraying diasporans. Are they agents of the New World Order? Because the thing is this, those white people will give another white country, an African country, to exploit in exchange for them not exploiting a European country. So what if they went to Russia like this? Like, yo, look, we know you want to mess up Ukraine, but how about this? You leave Ukraine alone and we'll let you take Angola, or we'll let you take Congo. We'll let you take this country. And then you go over there and get into their business and all that and treat them like crap and bribe a couple people and take over everything. They'll never challenge you militaristically. And that's why you see your leaders, oh, they're corrupt, they're corrupt. Bro, 90% of the time, your leaders get in agreements. Let people get into the country who claim to come in fairly. And then once those people start operating dishonestly, your leaders have no power to expel those people from the country or to deal with any potential backlash that might come from expelling those people out the country. Like your leaders have no. It's like a dog who ain't got no teeth. So you could let them in, but how do you get them out? And if they resort to military aggression due to the fact that maybe you have to go back on an agreement because they're treating you, they swindled you, then what are you going to do? See, look at the countries with France right now. Some countries want France out. France ain't going to leave. How they going to kick them out? France is one of the weakest militaries on earth. Mali got them up out of there. But what I'm saying is it's hard to leverage anything when you have no type of like fighting spirit. You know, you have you have fighting spirit, but you have no type of like power or strength to back yourself up militaristically. Like that's just the way it is. Afghanistan is more capable militaristically than like 99% of African countries. And that's sad. That's pathetic.
Yeah, Dennis, maybe you can answer this question, but isn't Nigeria's economy like 5 times larger than any economy in West Africa?
I know they have the largest economy. Well, it's between Nigeria and South Africa as far as having the largest economy in all of
I
Africa.
heard that. I heard like Lagos State itself, it has a larger
Lagos
economy
State,
than that.
Lagos State itself is probably the largest economy in. I mean, Lagos State itself is probably top 5 economies in Africa. Just Lagos alone,
Yeah, that's
I
what
would
I'm
say.
saying. There's no reason why a country like Nigeria shouldn't have a top top quality army. You get what I'm saying?
In fact, hold on, Josie Gold. I'm still trying to get a clear answer on this. Why did South Africa give up their nuclear weapons or quit their nuclear program?
Look, like Brandon said on that other live that you had, what do you call it? The white people before handing over power to Mandela? They're the ones that technically they didn't give them up. They took them apart. So the material is still there. That's what they did. They took them apart and they stored somewhere in the northwest province. So they are here. They just didn't give them to black people. So they just took them apart and then they stored them there. It was an agreement. I don't know. How do I put this? The white man didn't want black people to have nuclear weapons. Basically, after they took over, that's what happened.
Dinus, let me put in perspective for you. They gave up the nuclear weapons and never rebuilt the program for the same reason black people are against gun ownership. Why would you make yourself defenseless in the name of peace and security and being nice? 90% of black people in America want to ban guns. And you know that, Dinus. We need to get rid of guns. We need to get rid of guns. All the time. Democrats say we getting rid of guns, black people cheering. That's what black people do. It's the same thing like in South Africa. Progress through concession. This is what African countries are doing, and this is what black people are doing. Black people all over the world are doing it. We think that the more we give up, the more acceptable we'll be to white folks. And it just ain't working. You know, we need to double down on our principles and say, look, man, we are not about to keep tying one hand behind our back so you feel less threatened. And that guy, Nelson Mandela, as soon as he got in office, he should have reinstituted that nuclear program. He didn't. As long as ANC is in charge, they won't. Because
Yeah,
they're not.
the reality is South Africa should be a nuclear power. Nigeria should be a nuclear power. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Egypt,
Oh,
so
Dennis,
forth.
let me tell you this too. Now is the time to start with the nuclear program because do you know America is about to give $11 billion to Iran to restart their nuclear program
Are you
in
serious?
exchange for four American hostages that Iran is holding, and as an appeasement deal with Iran, dude. They are about to give the. Remember when they Trump killed the one Iranian general. Remember, and Obama gave him a crate, pallet full of money so they would stop with the nuclear program. Now Biden's about to give them 11 billion, dog, to
Yeah,
restart the.
that's your motherfucking president, Joe Biden.
Yeah, he's about to, and they are known sponsors of terrorism. But black people will never say, you know, we might have fucked up on this. Look at this guy, Tino. That's their money, Brandon. Bro, you don't give nuclear weapons to a country that has a history of decades of supporting terrorism, bro. You don't give them the power to destroy the whole planet. That's a no deal. But you guys don't understand. Everything to you guys is about this false sense of fairness. Your kids wish their daddy lived in the house with their mama, but Kevin Samuels got your ass running out of your family. That's not fair. But niggas can't see that. But they can see how it's fair to give some terrorist country nuclear weapons. See, Dinus, we don't know if we coming or going.
Yes, since we're talking about Joe Biden, has anyone heard anything he said about the Russia situation? Or is he just hiding under the bed?
He's an idiot. We're importing 500,000 barrels of oil from Russia a day, every single day. And we're talking about we're going to put sanctions on them. The number one source of income for Russia is the oil exports. So it's just all bull crap. Oh, Vladimir Putin doesn't know what's coming. It's all tough talk. It's all tough talk. Let me tell you, Dennis, and I was going to say this for my show, but I'm going to give you guys this joy. Did you know that Joe Manchin introduced a bill to stop all imports of oil from Russia? And guess who agreed with him? Guess who agreed with him, Dinus? Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, the most Democratic bitch on the planet, is in support of Joe Manchin's bill to stop all oil imports from Russia. Because even that old bird understands we're not doing anything to Putin that's really going to stop him until we cut off his ability to sell oil to outside countries. Nancy Pelosi agreed with Donald Trump. Donald Trump agrees with this, and Nancy Pelosi agrees with this. Have you ever heard of anything where Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump agreed? See,
No.
no. So if they're both agreeing on that, you know that this is a serious situation, and you know that this is what needs to be done to really stop Putin in his tracks. But we won't just be honest because, like Ant Nam is my guy. But here, Joe Manchin is a loser. Black people think that insulting somebody is actually doing something to him. It's not doing anything to him. Joe Manchin is keeping you from getting reparations, defund the police, and
Brandon,
everything.
I call it the Tariq Nasheed disease.
It's just like, guys, all this stuff. You know, the more we talk, and I got a video come out about this too. The more we talk, the more stupid we make ourselves look. Because it is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. And that's what Black people do. The more we talk, the more we show the world that we are totally detached from reality when it comes to geopolitical subject matter. We're totally attached when it comes to global economics. That's why you got a bunch of Black people in America talking about give us reparations of $100 trillion. Not even realizing that this country has moved into what they're saying, give us $100 trillion while voting for a candidate who made this country dependent on foreign oil to the point where we got to buy 232 million barrels of oil a year from them. If you wanted reparations, you would be supporting extremely conservative policies in the United States because you would need to be like, no, we need to do anything to save money because y'all got to give us our reparations check. Right or wrong, Dinus? You're not going to, if you really wanted reparations, you would literally try to make it to where United States wasn't sending no money up out this thing.
Well, we're not serious. Listen, we're serious about not being serious, Brandon.
Right. We serious about cracking jokes. Cracking jokes with the guy who said he ain't African. And I just posted a video on my channel where he admitted he claimed to be African 5 times and within 30 seconds. You guys we're showing the world that we've not smart. And then you talk about Nigerians. So who the Nigerians supposed to side with? You? You can't even figure out what the hell you want to do with your own situation in America. Black folks don't know if they coming or going in America, but want somebody to take their side and want somebody to be aligned with them. No, hell no. No one's going to align with you. The Democratic Party won't even align with you. And you've been supporting them for 60 years. Why? Because they know you guys aren't serious about anything. So they get your little vote, use you for what you're good for, and then they go cut deals with other groups. Ukrainians are coming to America. Afghans are already here. Ukrainians are getting $1 billion off rip.
Off
Afghans
rip.
are 9.6 billion. Go ahead, Dennis. I'm sorry.
I was saying when the Ukrainians come, they're going to get $1 billion off rip. 1 billion.
Hey, but we invented fried chicken though.
Right, exactly. And our bones, our bones are buried here. Our bones.
We found that. We foundational. You got to understand that King George stole the treaties. You know what I'm saying? They buried the treaties with King George. You know what I'm saying? Our claim to this country is up under Queen Elizabeth's mattress, and all we gotta do is go in the palace and go get it, and then
And
they'll
find
hand
it.
over
Yeah,
America.
and find exactly. Then they hand over America. F. Go ahead, F.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this show. I'm a second generation guy and Nigerian guy, and what do you think is like another solution to us not getting not if this reparation things doesn't like what's the alternative solution or alternative plan for us to really go into another environment or stratosphere essentially.
Reparations is a solution.
I didn't say it was a solution. I'm just saying what's the alternative.
Getting off your ass and putting in work. That's the only solution to anything. Look at Dynas. Dynas has built a tourism company, and he handed you know that podcast, $1 million worth of game? He just got on here, and before this show started, he broke down to you exactly what you could do in Africa to make a bunch of money. Do you think most people paid attention to that? No.
Well, what if Africa is just too far gone?
Your questions, what if? What if? What if? What if I was a unicorn? Clearly, Africa's not too far gone because there are millions of other people other than black folks going over there making money.
Well,
That's the problem.
My father is in a organization to try to break Nigeria off, break the southern part of Nigeria off from the U.S. Not the but Nigeria, but the entire Nigerian country as we know it.
Okay. What does that have to do with you?
What does that have to do with me?
Yeah.
Well, I think this is an indication of him thinking that really it's not going to being under the current regime right now. Nigeria really won't get better for the rest of Nigeria or the common Nigerian folk if we just keep on going with this regime that has just given us extremely high unemployment number, an extremely high unemployment rate. People, the standard of living is quite subpar for a lot of people. There has to be some other way we can get out of this, and it isn't going to be under this current regime.
So you think a bunch. So let me give you two ideas. Here's why your dad's wrong. One, you think that you're going to empower. Hold on, let me talk. Okay. Your dad has a political idea, so that means he can be wrong. Okay, I understand you want to get into emotional mode. We're not doing that.
Yeah, emotional. I'm saying this guy has.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You think that you think a group of people who can't win a fucking election are going to be able to secede from a country? No, that doesn't work like that. So it's just a but.
They're trying to grow it. They're trying to grow. I don't say I totally agree. I don't really agree with it.
Why don't they try to use the processes that are already in place to get what they want? Everybody always wants to separate. Black people think separation is the solution to everything. And 9 times out of 10, they end up worse off than before they separated. Okay, Biafra. It breaks away from Nigeria. Then what? Oh, it's going to become an economic hub. There's no guarantee of that. They immediately freaking get hit by sanctions from every ally that supports Nigeria, which is the entire Europe. It doesn't make sense. It's just like it's an emotional thing. You guys should be trying to take the presidency of Nigeria away from the current group. Because the reason you're in trouble is because you have a president who comes from a tribe that does not emphasize economic progress. Houses like religion. They don't care about economics.
Yes,
They're all rich.
we can't really live with these people. That's what
You can work with them. You just don't want to because you're lazy.
Well, I just don't think it's possible for us to work with them since our values are
You
just.
guys work with the white man.
Yeah,
You work with the white man, and he beat you and hung you from trees and burned your body.
that's totally.
That's totally different, right?
That's kind of.
You sound silly because we can put our differences to the side for every other group except for our own. You guys are just mad because back in the day, you tried to break off. The dude was lying about y'all was winning. You got your little butts whooped. You can't beat up the houses physically. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna be like the little kid who lose that basketball. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. That's what y'all trying to do. Get in there, Igbos, Yorubas. You guys are smart people. Go and take control of your government. And if enough people support you, you will get success. The problem is
isn't working.
What?
It just doesn't work.
You said what?
The system we have now just doesn't work.
No, it clearly works because Nigeria is an economic powerhouse.
Well, how do you reconcile a third of the people? Even it's up to 50% sometimes of the people being unemployed there. How do
you reconcile that because there's a bunch of guys who make all the money, just like in America.
Okay,
a few guys make all the money in America.
How are you going to try to reconcile that?
All you need to do is create situations where those guys are forced to start businesses, distribute wealth in certain areas.
But this is the thing, Brandon. So Air Peace is owned by an Igbo, man. So, I mean, Igbos are running shit in Nigeria as far as business wide. That's why I get confused by this. Like Igbos are balling in Nigeria.
Dynast, there are members of every tribe sitting in the Nigerian parliament. I guarantee you that. What you don't realize is the same people who are screaming, yeah, independent Biafra, are in the parliament selling you out every day. And what they're doing is when you come to them like, well, why do we have this? We don't have that. Oh, it's they fought over there. And you should be smart enough to see that by now. That's just like black politicians telling us, oh, these white folks want to keep us from doing this and doing that. Don't you sit in the chamber with white folks every day? I don't see any footage of you going at them about what we need and what we want. Because only thing they're doing is they're shitting on you, but they're trying to push your attention to the next group so you won't realize that they're the ones really preventing you from getting what you want. They're the ones standing in your way. Those Igbos in parliament is the ones keeping you from Biafra. Not no houses or nothing like that. The houses are just like, look, man, we don't know what y'all do. They really don't care about what you're doing. But your own leaders in your tribe, they're benefiting. They're benefiting.
That's why I kind of, I don't want to get involved and really get too deep into the Biafra thing. But when I'm in Nigeria, Igbos are balling. Igbos are balling here in America. You know,
Igbos balling here, bro. I know an Igbo who's multi-millionaire. That dude is sending cars over to Nigeria every other day. He's sending thousands for his people to start businesses. And you know what he said? He said, every time I give them money to start a business, they go drink it up and spend it on women. Now, that's whose fault is that?
Who does that? Who does that? The Igbo?
I mean, if let me back up, like Anambra is like the manufacturing hub. I mean, Igbos are fucking balling. Like Anambra is like the manufacturing hub of Nigeria.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm saying, Brandon. So you saying that Igbos, they go and spend their money on drinks and women after?
What he said, that his family members in the tribe, he's a chief over in Nigeria. He said when he sends money, hundreds of thousands of dollars to his tribe and to his people in his village and to his family, when he builds houses over there, he's building houses, building churches, all that. He said they take the money that they're supposed to start businesses with and they drink it up and they spend it on women. That's his words.
Yeah, that's probably true. But
that's what I'm telling you. I'm not saying this to make people feel bad because black folks here do it too. It's always somebody else's fault. And the solution is always to separate. Look at FBA right now. We need to separate from Africans. Name one brick and mortar business FBA has collectively started
It's
to.
that. Hold on, F. I don't know your full name. Obi Cubana is Igbo.
Huh?
You know Obi Cubana is?
Obi Cabanas? No, I don't know who he is. Who he is?
Oh man, come on, man. He runs the nightclub scene in Nigeria.
No, I've been to Nigeria like a few times. It hasn't.
Okay. Like I said, bro, I'm like I said, I'm always in Nigeria. Igbos are balling.
What you need to
Balling.
do is when
I
your
love-
dad starts talking about Biafra, you need to ask your dad, you need to say the same things like that. Dad, we run it. We own this. We own that. We
I
got this. We got that.
I agree. I was just playing devil's. I think that a lot of the Biafra it's kind of just you're just trying to blame someone else for your problems. To be honest, I agree. I agree with that. To be
And
honest,
black people do that better than anybody on earth. I promise you.
I agree. I agree.
My brother, my own brother, the
Oh,
other day.
here's another one. And my Nigerians in the chat room. Is it Innocent owned by a Nigerian? Innocent, the car manufacturer, isn't that owned by Nigeria? Sorry, by Igbo. Innocent's owned by an Igbo man, I think. Air Peace, Innocent, Obi Cubana.
Like a tech startup in Nigeria right now. Do you think that it would rise to the top immediately? What would happen to it?
Man, do you understand the amount of venture capitalism that's going to the tech industry in Nigeria right now?
No, I don't.
Billion. From America. Let me tell you something. I was at the dog park a while back, and I heard a brother talking to his wife, and they had those thick husky accents. And I said, "Man, you guys are from where? You guys from?" He said, "We're from Nigeria." I said, "So what's going on with over there with the election in the politics?" Those two Yoruba people, they told me we need an Igbo in as prime minister or president or whatever. We need an Igbo in charge. He said Igbos have a mind for business. And I know if an Igbo controlled Nigeria, Nigeria would be economically would be making progress economically. A Yoruba man said that. So you got people who know what the Igbos are capable of, but instead of going and sending out the feelers to find the people who agree with you guys are fixated on this. We want to separate stuff. Then, just like here, Black Americans, instead of going and seeing what we can do to improve our situation with what we got, we fixated on reparations, cut the check. See, we get hyper focused on something based on emotion, and while we're focused on that, everybody else they just keep on moving forward. Life goes on. And we blame them. Oh, it's because of them. No, it's because you stopped thinking ahead and thinking productively, and you started fixating on something negative, like we need to break up the country because that's going to. How you talking about the United? I heard here in Nigeria. I hear some Igbos on the internet. 1 second they talking about United States of Africa. Next minute they talking about independent Biafra. Y'all don't know if y'all coming or going. Y'all don't know what you guys want. All you know is you want somebody else to be accountable for whatever happens. And you guys got to stop that. Old people don't know everything, contrary to popular belief. My grandma told me she don't even know she African or Choctaw. She said she don't even know Choctaw Indians came from Africa. This was the other day. And these are the people y'all letting get y'all all riled up about we need to split and all that. I think about it. They won't even live to see the results of that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Guys, make sure you hit that like button again. Please hit the like button. We'll take a couple more callers.
Yeah.
Link in the chat room, and then we'll. Oh no, that's not the link. That is not the link. That is not the link.
Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you. I'll be
back. No problem.
Man, guys, old folks just be saying shit to see what stick, to see what you gonna believe. I guarantee you that.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room. Links in the chat room. If you'd like to call in, please click on the link. If you'd like to call in, please click on the link.
They don't want to call in with you, man. They you done
Why
hurt
don't
they
call in, Brandon?
you done hurt their feelings. Brandon, this conversation are needed. Yeah, these conversations are needed. You know, I don't talk about other people's problems, but that doesn't mean that I don't see what's going on, because we are the kings of being manipulated. We're the kings of trying to dodge accountability. So it's easy for us to see the issues and the problems in other people's like ways of thinking on certain issues. Man, Igbos need to just, if they think they can do a better job running Nigeria, all that money they got, they can buy a presidency.
Go ahead, Elijah.
Okay, yeah. Call him so I was eating, but the only thing I can say to is that Choctaw Billy, I know I'm a little older or whatever like this, all good, bro. But what I'm saying, listen, man, we already did it. So like you're saying things like the Igbo are doing this, that, and the other. These people come to our country and they think that this is our reality, as in like the longevity of us being, aka the people whose ancestors, direct ancestors, built the foundation of the country. We built towns all over the country, villages. Why are we still proving something like we have to go back and prove what? The resume is the United States of America. And not only that, after we built the United States of America, defended the country even during slavery, defended helped expand the country. Like I'm in Colorado right now. I moved out here like 5 years ago. Like the Mexicans out here don't realize it was Spaniards out here. The Buffalo Soldiers helped push the Spaniards out of the West down to Mexico and out through the Caribbean. Why are we trying to prove to immigrants that we already did it? Like they'll tell me sometimes when I will try to correct them about things when I come into this 7-Elevens, liquor stores, yes, is that you don't understand the history because you weren't taught that. You weren't taught that way. So they don't know that we had hundreds of towns all over this country. So either we're going to go forward and get like reparations, or we're going to get back into like a class of people who they're not sophisticated enough to understand this country. Well, and I'll end with this because I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. You probably could tell. Well, okay, so all roads leads to Rome. Now, we were slaves in Rome, but we're still Roman. So you have all these people coming into the country thinking they can figure out all these cultures we've been around for a century and a half, who came with nothing but the clothes in their bag, just like they have. There is no talk. You have to you have to disaggregate yourself from the situation. You have to separate and let them fend for themselves until they come to an understanding where we can actually work together. I'm sorry. Thank you.
But here's the thing, man. Yeah, I wish you would have stayed on. Here's the thing, man. Let them fend for themselves. They're doing better than you. They're doing fine with it. They don't need you here. They don't have to recognize what you did. They don't need to come and you need to recognize, that we built this country. Black people love getting recognition for stuff. Like one of the things I learned being a father, right? And you probably know this too, Dinus. You don't always got to get recognition for stuff. Sometimes just being in a position to know that you are able to do something if someone needs it is recognition and reward enough. And that's what Black people need to learn. It's an issue of maturity. That guy's older than me and want a Mexican to recognize something from him. I don't give two shits what a Mexican know, don't know, recognize, see, whatever. That just move when I say excuse me. That's the only thing I need you to do. That's it. I don't go around, look at what I'm doing in Africa, Jose. That means nothing to me. And what Jose is doing, he don't need me to validate him. Now, if we become friends or something, we talking, oh, that's real cool, whatever, because you'll be surprised what people know and don't know. But a lot of people are not like Black people. A lot of people don't sit up and bellyache over shit that they can't change. See, they know stuff. Dinus, I don't know if you ever seen this, but sometimes I'll be on a plane to Kenya. I'll see Mexicans on the plane. Hey, what are Mexicans? Yeah, bro, I just always want to go to Africa. I read about Africa. I always want to go there. Mexicans have brains too. But they're not about to sit up at least you complain, because you know what they say? You know how somebody says, hey man, how you doing today? Man, good. Because if I complain, nobody would care. That's the problem. Nobody cares because everybody's struggling trying to make it. And I wish this brother who's older than me, I wish he understood that so he could preach a new message to our people, because it seems like his only goal or only like hope is reparations. Either we go ahead and get reparations. That's all you can do. That's all you capable of doing. If we built this country, Dinus, why can't we just build a little community? That should be easy work, right or wrong.
Right. Right. We got Mika. Go ahead, Mika.
Go ahead, Mika. Sorry.
Hey, you guys. So I was listening in. I'm not very versed in Nigerian politics, but I like what you said to the Nigerian guy. I just don't think that as Africans, we have to live with the scramble for Africa. It happened. The Europeans, they divided our continent into countries, and I think we have to move on from there. In the world that we're living in today, I think dividing into further smaller states like Lesotho and Malawi and really tiny states will not get us anywhere, because this is a time when we need, look at NATO, right? Look at NATO. That's the freaking whole of Europe and US, and it's the whole army out there. We need to be talking about reinstating these nuclear programs like the one in South Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt. These bigger countries, Algeria. Instead of further dividing into smaller tribes, smaller groups, I think we will not move on. It's time for us to really put on a united front. And the thing that I hate about us as Africans, I think we don't have an African agenda. We don't know what we're doing. Even if you look at the voting that just went on, some countries with the Ukraine and Russia issue, some countries were pro, some were abstinent, some were against. Let's have a united. What are we saying as Africans? Let's just have one word. If we're abstaining and we're not aligning, let's keep it that way. Let's focus. Let's do the pro-Africa agenda, because at the moment, even the African Union, they are pro-Europe, they are pro-white. ECOWAS, pro-Europe, pro-white, pro-France. How are you going to sanction Mali? So some point, I know that the criticisms from the diaspora is valid, although I don't like the pettiness that I see from FBA. In fact, I used to think that Black Americans had a monolithic sort of homogenous identity, but I've seen that there's tribes even with Black Americans. You've got ADOS, you've got FBA, you've got Black natives, Black Aboriginals, Hoteps, Nation of Islam, you've got Black Hebrews. I mean, it's just too much to keep up with. Even when you're engaging us Africans, we want to know, who are you guys? If you guys are Black Americans, fine, let's do that. If you're African American, fine, let's do that. If you're natives, cool, let's do that. Stick with one thing, because we don't know how to engage you people. The African Union has already created the sixth degree of the diaspora. What's the mandate? What do we want from the diaspora? What does the diaspora need from us? These are the conversations we should be having. So Nigeria is supposed to be thinking about being the next superpower for Africa. It's actually projected to be the first African superpower. So if you break up to Biafra and whatnot, how are you going to achieve that? That would bring so much commotion. First, you might even have a war, which you don't need. Same, even in Zambia, we've got a kingdom called Barotseland. It used to be a kingdom before the British, and then they were sort of annexed into Zambia. Now they say they want to break up. So there's all these breakups. If we're going to go back to the ancient boundaries, the kingdoms, I think we won't go anywhere. So let's move forward. Let's accept the countries we have, and let's build regional blocks that can, deal with the IMF, kick out this European economic system and move forward and create an African world order. So we cannot continue dividing into smaller states. I'm sorry. So forget this Biafra thing. Let's move forward.
Yeah, so like if you think about it, like Black Americans, we are not really that different. All that stuff you see, Hebrew Israelites, all that stuff is bullcrap. These people don't really believe that stuff. You might think they do, because Black people will argue for something they don't even believe. Like they really do believe it. Black person go to church, get up, hoop, holler, fall out in the middle of the aisle, cry, catch the Holy Ghost, start speaking in tongues, everything, and then go home and smoke crack. You know what I'm saying? We are good at acting. We're good at theatrics. We're good at showing our ass, But they don't believe that stuff, because you want me to tell you one thing about all those people who you named, those groups? We all gonna go to work for a white man on Monday. And we gonna be whatever he want us to be for 8 to 12 hours until the shift is over. Those are hobbies that you looking at. Black people talking about, oh, I'm this and I'm FBA and all that stuff. Even people on the internet. You think all these people on here talk about I'm Native Aboriginal, go out into the real world? Dinus, you in America, do you really believe, as an American like me, Black American, do these people go out from the internet and entertain this stuff on the internet publicly?
They don't.
Never, ever. The internet gives people new life because they have anonymity. You notice when these people come on, they never show their face. They never got their real name. This is just a fake image. It's a different identity.
And Brandon, and to piggyback on that, somebody asked me, Diners, why don't you like respond to trolls? And I mentioned to them like the majority of these trolls, they don't go by their real names. They go by pseudonyms. You don't know where they're at. They remain anonymous. They want to hide. They want to know everything about you, but when you ask them something about them, they want to keep it a secret. You're right. They can hide behind this keyboard. You're muted, Brandon.
We know you, Dinus. You know how I could prove that that's facts. Period. Look at when Ukraine, the Africans in Ukraine, was talking about they couldn't get out the country, right? Black Americans spoke up for them first before their own countries did. Black Americans was like, oh, that's effed up, that ain't right. We was tripping. That's telling you right there. The vast majority of Black Americans, they literally, when the Haitians was at the border, you had a small segment of Black Americans, hold your own nuts. But Black Americans was going down there, giving them food, giving them clothes, doing it, trying to help them. So these little people on the online, they get attention here. This is the only place where people will actually entertain their little delusional behavior, right? But last night on Dinah's show, you saw the older gentleman. He was older. He started saying, I don't care if they call me Black or Black American or whatever. Because most Black people don't care. They just don't. Call me anything you want, just don't call me late to dinner. That's general Black sentiment.
Bibi, you look nice and comfortable over there on your stomach.
Because I'm looking from London.
You're from London. Okay. Go ahead, Bibi.
It's to the Nigeria issue. Actually, I'm Nigerian. I'm Yoruba.
About
the issue of Biafra is a bit complicated.
Cabo.
About Nicola Shalafiani.
Moa Lafani.
Okay. The issue of Nigeria with the Biafra, the guy that was talking that said his dad doesn't believe in Nigeria is more complicated than people are thinking about. Most of the people that are peddling Biafra now, they are peddling it because the crumb is not coming to their table. Their alliance are no more in power. By next dispensation, if someone else comes in and it suits their pocket, the noise about Biafra will die down. That is now. Most of them that call it Biafra, they didn't even know the origin of the Biafra itself. And it's power struggle kind of. Even when the Nigerian Constitution, the Mafasa Constitution of 1954, before the Constitutional Conference, there was supposed to be a clause for any part of the country that want to secede from Nigeria. They have the right to do through a plebiscite. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first president of Nigeria of Igbo origin, was the one that stood against that clause. From that side, they are the one. If you go and look at Nigeria history in the 60s, this part of Nigeria that claiming Biafra now, they are the one in the civil service. They are the one in the military. They are the one that carry out the first coup in Nigeria before the Hausa retaliated. They dig the grave, but they don't know that the grave they are digging is going to end up they are going to be the victim later. They dig the grave. If you read the history of Nigeria, so Nigeria is a very complicated country, because it's over 500 ethnic groups with over 250 languages, and within the languages, there is dialect. So most of the people in the diaspora are ignorant of what is happening. They just chat on the internet, carrying this news, because the people back home, when the pocket is dry, when they don't get money, everybody will start agitating for the populist agenda. Like there's the issue of the Yoruba, the Oduduwa nation. Sometimes a non-entity came up and said you want to lead the Yoruba nation. Well, we have lots of professors, academians in Yoruba race. We never take him serious. We know he's a clown because we know he's a talk. He's like a garage boss. But because he had a problem with the governor of Oyo State, he started leading Yoruba nation. But we all know they are all peddlers. They peddle when their pocket is dry. everybody come out with their agitation. Unfortunately for them, the guy in power now, the guy doesn't give a shit. If it were to be the previous government, they would have given contracts or one political appointment to so-called agitators. You win anything again. But the man there, that man does not care. If you like, cry for money tonight, he doesn't listen to you. The man might have good intention, but there are a lot of vultures around him. The cabals, Nigeria, he's talking. If they really want Biafra, they should ask the member of the House of Assembly to put out the motion in National Assembly. Let them change the clause in the Constitution. Let them start from their state to House of Assembly. They have state assembly. Let the 5 major states that constitute the Biafra, let them make the motion in their various states of assembly, as their representative at the Federal National House of Assembly to put the motion. If it passed, let them move it to the Senate. There's always constitutional amendment. The Yoruba people have been asking for restructuring since 1992. But we can't do restructuring because it's not part of Nigerian constitution as of now. Instead of them to agitate for National Constitutional Conference to readjust the Nigerian constitution, and every nation every ethnic nation coming to come out with their agenda and collate it and include the constitution. Even when my people are from the Southwest, when they start doing restructuring, I said the only thing that is standing between Nigeria and Constitution is 1999 constitution, because it was promulgated by the military regime. It's more or less a unitary constitution paraded to be a federal constitution. The true constitution that the last true federal constitution we have is 1960 constitution. So they can't do anything. They're just peddlers. And you can never see and another thing is most of the so-called elites and the educated few, they don't get involved in Nigerian politics. Most of the people in Nigerian corridor of powers now, when we're in school, are court-stitched. Most of the 90% of people in states of assembly in Nigeria now are court guys that used to be it boys for the politicians. They used to assassin or carry out their bad deed, and they promised a political appointment. So they gave them Agbada now, their parading corridor of powers. The so-called intellectuals, the who is in Nigeria intellectual community, they don't get involved in politics. They became spectators while the game of their life is being played. That's why I tell people, our game of our life is being played, and we are spectators. We leave the corridor of power for non-entities. Because I can mention at least 4 court guys that when we're in school, they are real court guys that we know they are court guys. They are men for politicians. But they promise them political power after they've served there for a certain period of time. Most of them, and some of them too, are student union leaders when we're in school. They use student agitation as the bargaining chip to get political power. So until well-meaning Nigerians get themselves involved in politics, if all these people are mentioned on Facebook and everything, when the election in Nigeria is Saturdays, they don't go voting. They'll start playing. That's why they remember to play football. They're armchair critics. They criticize on Facebook, they shout on Facebook, on Twitter and everything. But on election day, it's only the illiterate, the market women, the motor boys that voted, that always vote. That's why the politicians recognize all these market women and all the artisans that so-called educated people. They sit down in the house, they don't go out voting. If the educated people are going out to vote, they know the manifesto of all these people. We know that some of these people coming out to vote, contesting. Some of them are not even what to be your doorkeeper, talk less of being a political post, but because of political apathy on the so-called elite or way to go, they believe politics is for illegals. No response going to politics. So you live the affair of your country, people that are deciding your life, the future of your unborn children, the affairs of you, everything that concerns you, because politics involves every aspect of our life, your work, your life, socially, economic, anything. They left it for hooligans, non-entities to run their affairs. So what do we expect? And we come out and for the Biafra issue, the other guy in diaspora talking about Biafra. When was the last time most of them went home to vote? and they're
Look, sister,
poisoning,
let me
they're
interrupt
diluting
you.
the man of this under six, like the guy that was talking to you. The guy has no clue about
There's
what
a
he's
guy.
talking about.
There's a guy in the comments saying, "Oh, voting doesn't work in Nigeria." But do you
Guys
ever
are
notice
working in
that
Nigeria.
you hear that same sentiment everywhere where Black people are complaining the most? Voting doesn't work.
Like,
Also,
as of
that's an
now,
excuse. So you don't have to participate in the decision-making process. How do you know it doesn't work if you never voted? How do you know it doesn't work if you don't even know how the voting process works?
and as of now, the agitation is coming from a particular part of the country now. They are the one, they go on Facebook, they go on everything. Nigeria is useless, Nigeria is this. And 98% of people that are affected in Ukraine now, that are calling Nigeria government to evacuate, they are the one calling Nigeria a zoo. You call your country a zoo, now you have problem, and you're calling the animal in that zoo to come and evacuate you, to help you. I don't get it. The agitation is from a particular part, and I'll tell them, in as much as I don't have faith in the present administration, who is the next in line to take over from them? They're the same is a vicious circle. They're all leeches, they're waiting. They're all leeches, they're waiting for the cadaver to devour. The moment the circle of leeches leave, the next bloodsucker is coming.
Hey, Dynasty, you want me to tell you something that's funny as hell? And I'm gonna let Mika go right after me. But
Okay, go ahead.
look, this is the funny thing. Voting doesn't work. Voting doesn't work. What if the United States got invaded by an opposing power? Black people, Black men, we think we'll just be able to say, we're going to get up and leave. We're not going to participate in that. We don't want to be a part of that. But look what happened in Ukraine. They said if you between 18 and 60, you can't leave. You have to fight, right? So these governments aren't playing with you. You can sit up and say all this crap back and forth. Oh, I'm not this and a white man, and you trying to fight. America will force you to do whatever they want you to do, and you won't be able to do anything to stop it. Period. So keep talking tough, keep talking about well, don't word and all that. When they're still pulling your strings, you're still under their control, and until you stand up and put in work, you will always be in that position. Period.
I'll go ahead, Mika.
And for the lady, Mika, that talked about the African one, it's quite unfortunate. Most of the politicians we have in power in Africa, they're stooges to the they're like stooges of the Western powers.
They're white supremacists.
They're like sleeper agents, kind of. Like I always people don't. If you understand, I told people the Boko Haram issue up in Nigeria is like Hydra head. They have the internal and the external forces. The problem in most of this country, any African country that has the potential to develop and be like a competitor in the global power play, always a cartel problem. There's always kind of insidious, kind of on the ground to destabilize such country. Unfortunately, they have willing participants who are citizens of the said country, which is quite unfortunate. Because if Nigeria have a visionary leader, we have the human material capacity to compete with any of the so-called world power. We have the human capacity, we have the material capacity in terms of everything, but we have visionless people running the affair of the country, and we have external forces because Nigeria is surrounded by almost 16 Francophone countries. And a country, I'm not going to mention any, a particular country know that the more Nigeria got is act together with a visionary leader, the influence on Nigeria on the so-called Francophone country will be so magnitude that we have little or no say in the affair of those 16 countries. And those 16 countries, they do have central bank. Their money in international trade is saved in a particular place outside the continent. That if those countries repatriate their money back to their central bank in West Africa, that particular country that is so-called world power, we have nothing in its foreign reserve to compete. And that particular country is as like it's vulnerable for Nigeria to tap to its full potential. But people don't say that. I'm not mentioning them, but the issue of Boko Haram, there is inner factor, but most of it is external. It's external because what is life external? If Nigeria gather its out together, is stable economically and womanly, and everything is going smooth. Some of these so-called Western European countries cannot stand Nigeria economically. They're going to lose their influence in the region. So that is why Nigeria can never. They like as far as they have the internal collaborators, because those ones, because of
Okay,
their
Vivi,
selfish interest,
let me
they
let
sell
me
their
say this
products.
before I go.
So that's
let,
it.
okay, let Mika go, and then we're gonna close out. Go ahead, Mika.
All right. So I'm trying to say is I've heard about what you're saying about Biafra. I'm from Zambia. And as you know, even Europe, right? Europe has tribes. They had the Vikings, the Visigoths, the Saxons, the Gauls, and all these different tribes, but they've still found a way to just unite and achieve the European agenda, which they are imposing on the rest of the world. And I feel as Africans, what's our agenda? So Nigeria is poised to be the global the African superpower, right? Your population is increasing, it's going to be bigger than China. And I've seen what the economic pundits are saying. But how are you going to lead Africa since you're being posed as the leaders of Africa? If you're going to disintegrate into smaller states and break up, I guarantee you when the Hausas or the Igbos or whoever breaks away, another group is going to want to break away. Maybe the Yorubas or somebody else. And then you're going to disintegrate. You see what Russia is trying to do? They're trying to build an empire. They want to annex Ukraine and they're going to go for the next state and next state. They're building because they've recognized that they've got a serious opponent in NATO. So as Africans, can we really afford to keep on disintegrating into smaller states? Look at Malawi and Lesotho. What bargaining power do they have when dealing with agents like the IMF? You see. So I think this rhetoric about the different tribes, ethnicities, we just have to evolve and move on
Look,
beyond that.
Mika, I understand you, but I'm telling you now, take it to the bank. Nigeria is not breaking anywhere. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the problem is the so-called peddlers and their enablers on the Facebook are just tarnishing them. But to be sincere, if you're in Nigeria, if you live, you would know what I'm talking about, because the so-called power that bees will not, as far as it's not suiting their benefit for the country to divide, Nigeria is not dividing anyway. Take it to the bank.
Okay, right. But don't underestimate, for example,
I'm
the time
telling
that
you. I'm
the
telling you,
time
I'm a
that
Nigerian.
Nigeria.
I'm telling you.
Okay, fine.
I'm
I'm
telling you, I
saying
know
when
what I'm talking about.
Nigeria. Okay. I'm saying this rhetoric when Nigeria. I'm losing my train of thought. But what I'm trying to say is that when you've got a group like Biafra, don't underestimate the power of the West
Okay,
to
do you want to
fund
know
those groups
the guy that was
when
living,
they ever
guy that
decide
was living,
to
okay,
undermine
the
the
guy that was
Nigerian
leading
government?
Biafra, the guy that was leading Biafra, the so-called agitator, before he was caught in Kenya, he lived in the council house in Peckham. He lived in the government subsidized housing in Peckham. The problem Nigeria government made is they should have
So I'm just
curbed him. They
saying.
should have curbed him long time ago, but they let him. They thought he was a joker because he's ripping people off. I can take you to his house in Peckham. He lived in the government subsidized housing. He was using that money. He was using that to get money from people who are emotionally like it's a pop. You know the way the guy in the US, the so-called "Make America Great," that is sucking money from the common denominators of people. That was it tapped on people's emotion. The very agitator Biafra in the 60s, if you look the history of even their father, it's just the hypocrisy, but people are upset. One thing I know, if there's justice, all this agitation will calm down. There's some people that have like a real serious concern about their situation, economic situation, and they're upset. So they are tapping into that people anger. They're tapping into that anger to make a populist and make money. Deep down them, they don't want divide. It's for their pocket. If for that guy, if it should be a previous administration, they gave him one or two contracts, he's going to keep quiet. You're not going to hear about him again. Before him, there is what we call Masab. There is a emancipation of Biafra people. There's Masab. Go and look. Masab was about 10, 15 years ago. He came into limelight about 7 years ago. And he's been in detention now for almost a year. Nothing happened. And when Nigerian government is ready to deal with you, they will deal with you. Nothing will happen. If you die in prison, they will cry, they will riot for a week or two. At the end of it, you will hear anything. I know my people. We are
Okay, I'm just talking about the
Facebook.
ability of the West to undermine a
The West.
government by
Now, let me tell you.
this.
The West. Let me tell you that region of the country. Go and look that region of the country. The West got nothing. They got nothing from there. Because the south, if it's the south of the country, maybe, and the oil is getting out of fashion now. This particular country is if the country want to come out of Nigeria, is a landlocked area. Nigeria will choke that country. It's in the middle of Nigeria, surrounded by the south on the east, and on the north is north central. On the north is north central. On the west is part of it. Look, go and look at the Biafra state. If you look Nigerian flag, look Ebonyi, Imo, Anambra, Enugu. Is in the middle. It's going to be surrounded by Nigeria, so they can't even breathe. If Nigeria will choke them. So I'm not trying to underestimate them, but I'm telling you, most of the people agitated are not even serious because their so-called power brokers are milking from the Nigerian well.
Absolutely.
If there's a corruption in Nigeria today, I bet you the so-called people, you will see people from the same tribe that are agitating. The people from that tribe are part of the corruption. People from my tribe, people from the so-called Hausa that is oppressing them. When there's corruption, there is no discrimination of tribe or religion when they want to make the country die. So I'm telling you.
All right, we're about to close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace. Bye-bye.